Welcome to Master the Game. I am Juice, and today we are talking about something that I have seen other content creators suggesting both on TikTok and YouTube. And frankly, I just don't agree. So let's get started. Before we dive into this, I want to quickly mention, head on over to our website, masterthegamerpg.com, where you can sign up for our newsletter to get weekly updates on the content we've put out, resources we've created, such as free random roll tables, and among other things over on our website. So the very first place I ever saw this little tip of advice suggested that I don't agree with was on TikTok. Saw someone mention it over there, and I just didn't agree with it. Since then, I have heard that some YouTubers have mentioned it. Some very big YouTubers have suggested it. And again, I don't recommend it at all, in the slightest, the way they've all presented it. And that is going to be changing monster hit points on the fly. So this is my pro tip. Do not do that. You're altering the game as it should be played. Why use dice if you're just going to arbitrarily decide that a monster is dead at a certain point? It doesn't make sense. It robs the players of dice rolls mattering. I've also seen people suggest, oh, after 3 hits, a monster is dead. And I don't like that either. Now, if you're doing this and there is a mechanical reason for it, then that's okay. Because you're creating the story around it. There might be ways for the players to find out about it leading into the encounter and things like that. But I don't think you should just arbitrarily say, oh, I'm just going to decide 3 hits and he's dead, or one hit's fine, because again, that might be a minion, whatever. But when you say, oh, 2 hits he's dead or 3 hits he's dead, you're altering the reason for rolling dice. Why even roll dice for damage if you're just going to say 2 hits and they're dead? I don't like that. And I think that when you do this, players can pick up on it. Most GMs do not have good poker faces. When it comes down to it, you'll see a player go, oh man, I didn't realize they only had that many hit points. Or, what do you do if they only graze them twice and deal minimal damage 2 times? Do you still say, well, that was my 2 hits, they're gone? Like, players are going to pick up on it. Or if they do massive amounts, they crit on the first hit and they do maximum damage on their crit, what is that going to do? Again, you're altering it. Now, there are some ways you can do it if that's what you want to do. For example, and I was talking about this the other night with my friend Bill from Roll Stats. If you wanted to do something like, say, 2 or 3 hits and they're dead, you could have something like a force field that needs to be hit with a certain damage type. And it's not about how many hit points you do, it's about the damage type, and that withers away the shield or shields that are around this character. Maybe they have a spell up, maybe they have a specific armor, maybe they have a ring, maybe they have a combination of those things. And so when you're doing something like this, role play the result. For example, if they have their shield up and they get hit, have the first part of the shield go down or have it weaken. And then when it gets hit again, do it again or have it go away. Well, now they still have that armor. When they get hit with that damage type on the armor, maybe that armor just goes away because it's a magical armor. Or maybe it's, a regular armor and it just falls off and shatters into pieces. And now they're left with no defense. And the next hit is the fatal blow because they have only like 1 or 2 hit points. That's a way you can do it and make it interesting. You can also foreshadow it leading up to an encounter with, information from NPCs in the city. Maybe there was a prisoner that you found in the dungeon that said, yeah, I tried to hit him, but there was some sort of force that I couldn't bypass, some sort of shield or, something like that. Give clues that that's what's going to happen, and I think, again, it's going to be far more fun, far more interesting than just arbitrarily saying, yep, you hit, whatever, and you role play normal damage or whatever, but you don't actually factor in the damage, and then boom, the second hit, you're like, oh, and you kill him. That's not as exciting, in my opinion, and again, I think you're robbing your group from the dice rolls, and I think dice rolls are important. I think you should factor in dice rolls at your table for combat, especially in a game like D&D that is so heavily focused on combat. Again, I think it's important to factor that in, make it important, make it meaningful, and go with it. If you agree with this tip, I would love to hear about it in the comments below. If you disagree with me, feel free to tell me why. I love having these discussions. We can also carry the conversation over in our Discord. If you want the latest from Master the Game, head on over to our website where you can sign up for our newsletter on our homepage. It's at the bottom there. Just put in your email and your name, and we will send out a weekly blast telling you all the latest content we've put out and all of the newest resources we've put up on our website. This was Master the Game. I am Juice. Game on.